Good evening and welcome to the garden. My name's Alicia. This is our Golden Acre, and we garden in Western Pennsylvania. We've been outside all day. It's been absolutely glorious. Um, but the part that I wanted to show off to you today, this is our new garden that we added on to. Um, Last fall, we used chickens and deep mulch and things like that to get the garden prepared, and we've started planting. So I'm so excited to show that to you. This back here is the original part to the garden, well, the original part that's been added on to a few times. I wanted to show you what's going on over here. We've had some wonderful rain yesterday, and I swear just that rain has made such a huge difference in the past 24 hours. So let's just take a little look. I don't know how much daylight I have left, but I wanted to show what's going on. This part of the garden right here is our lower bed. We planted 5 different kinds of tomatoes today. We've put our Amish paste in here. We put a German pink, a couple Paul Robesons, and Bumblebee Sunrise and Black Strawberry. So what we did right here on the underside, we've got this is actually our chicken feed bags that are compostable. We had a layer of mulch under this. We covered this to suppress the weeds. So when we planted, we pulled the paper back. We planted our tomatoes. We used some soil conditioner from Happy Frog or Fox Farm. Happy Frog, something along those lines. We put that in there, and then I had purchased some garden soil, some organic, like raised bed soil that we filled in the hole. This soil is not the same as what we have in the original garden, so I wanted to just amend it a little bit. That seemed to be the easiest thing this year. And then my husband mowed today, and so we collected the grass clippings, covered that paper. One, it will weight it down for us and help it start breaking down. Just another layer to suppress weeds, and long-term, more organic material added to the soil. And we built this trellis today as well. I have footage of all these things, but sometimes I just don't have time to sift through all the footage and get it down to a succinct video. So sometimes I just have to say, hey, we did this. Um, this wire has been a chicken pen. Last year our pole beans grew up it. Still some remnants there. So this year it's going to be our tomato trellis. We kind of used it in place of purchasing a cattle panel because we already had this material. We did have to purchase some fence posts, but we use those in so many things, so felt good about that purchase. The center part here is not planted yet. I need to get that prepared. That's going to be our winter squash, which I'm really excited about. It's been a very long time since we've had this amount of space for winter squash. And then our top bed here, this part down to the sunflowers that are right there, is planted to potatoes. At the far end where those stakes are some Roma tomatoes. In between's not planted yet. I'm not sure what's going in there. Well, I'm going to amend that. I hope those are Roma tomatoes. Every year I have very good intentions of keeping everything very well labeled, and then something happens. This year definitely messed it up, and as I transplanted things and up potted them, I just kept losing more and more of what was what. So I'm hoping those are Romas up there. I'm hoping the ones that I thought I planted down here, I did, because the Romas are determinate. They grow to a determined size, whereas all the ones that I think I planted down here are indeterminate. They will reach the top of this trellis, which is up over my head. It's about 6 feet by the end of summer, provided everything works as planned. We also, well, I've actually put this in a video recently. We opted to put just electric fencing around this part of the garden opposed to like the woven wire fencing. Just to kind of give ourselves a year. We already had most of the materials. We already run electric around the outside of the garden to deter pests, and also our stationary chicken run, when the chickens are in there, that electric goes around the outside of that to deter predators. So right now I've got a gate on that end and this end that's open, so it's easy to pass through. I need to put that up, plug the fencer back in for nighttime when we aren't out here. So excited for what this is going to look like by the end of summer. Well, a week, a month, 2 months. Really excited to see what this is going to look like. Now let's go take a look at the original part of the garden. Welcome to our gate that still works, that we threw up the first year. All right, I'm going to turn you around. Now through here, this is our first round of lettuce. My husband and I both ate a giant salad for dinner tonight. Just finished it actually, and you can't tell. We've decided right now we're going to do like a big salad for our dinner every other night until this is done. Right here is a patch of radishes. These are actually starting to bolt on us. Like right here, they're starting to blossom, and then they'll go to seed. So a couple of things on that. I'm just going to let them. Having those blossoms in the garden is wonderful for our pollinators. It attracts beneficial insects that help kind of manage some of the pests in your garden. And then also the seed pods for radishes taste like little radishes. So we'll be able to eat some of those. We'll harvest, let those dry and use them as seed for this fall and for next year. So that's going to be awesome. Here we've got some onions. I spread these out a little bit to let them kind of form a head. And then this right here is arugula. We'll get a little more use out of that, but as it gets warm, that's going to bolt on us as well. Now, who knew that kale could be that pretty? That was some kale that we had planted last year that overwintered. There is pollinators all over that during the course of the day. So we're just leaving that there for a while, probably harvest some of the seed pods and then give it to the chickens or put it in the compost and just let that go. Our next thing is we've got some cauliflower. These are growing nicely. I have never successfully grown cauliflower, so we'll see how that turns out. A little bit of lettuce in between. And these are some radishes that overwintered, and they are, again, just beautiful. Here's the next round of lettuce. Once the first one's kind of done, we'll let that go to blossom and go to seed and start eating from this one. And then this chunk right here is going to be sweet potatoes. They will not be planted out until June. We need to be out of the 40s. Sweet potatoes do not like cold. Now we will be taking off the plastic on this. The chicken coop moves that way. And then I am going to plant on this arch. I'm going to do a little bit of winter squash, and I'm going to do our cave beans. Last year we grew our cave beans over here on like a 10-foot trellis, and they like almost pulled it down. So we had one that grew that just volunteered in the compost. It was really pretty. So we're going to do some cave beans on this one and some squash. I'm exercising restraint this year and trying to spread things out. We had a lot of our squash, the fruit would just abort. Like it would start and then it would like go soft and like shut down on you. So hoping if I just do like 1 or 2 plants per side, we'll get better results. Our broccoli is looking just gorgeous. We actually I need to get this harvested before it starts to blossom. It's actually starting right there. So I've got that head of broccoli. And this one right here that we need to harvest. That's some wild rocket arugula that's come back from last year. We've been eating that. And then there's more over there as well. So this is a tremendous improvement over last year. Last year we pretty much lost all of our brassicas. So hopefully trending in the right direction. And then these are our walking onions. These are 100% a testament to plants want to grow. We bought these and they just sat on the counter for almost a year, I think. And I threw them in the ground at a point in the year when you're not supposed to. And they have grown and multiplied and are about to be multiplying further. Like the walking part of the walking onion, these will fall, and where these land, they'll take root and grow. That's the walking part to the walking onion. In this bed, these are like a bush butternut squash. Planted some radishes there to have some blossoms near. And then we've got some chamomile here. I have no idea when that's going to blossom, if it's going to blossom. Never grown it. New this year. New for me this year. Okay. I said this wasn't going to be a garden tour. I'm kind of making it a garden tour. We're just going to roll. We'll see where we end up. This bed, we have two different kinds of cabbage. This is golden acre cabbage on this side, and like, I think it's like Coeur de Bleu or something like that. More teardrop shaped cabbage here. Onions down the center. A ton of volunteer dill. And then I have a row of radishes along each side. Here is one of many onion beds that's looking pretty good. Here is I think this is a volunteer carrot. I had let a carrot that had overwintered go to seed with the intention of collecting the seeds. I did not get them collected, but it did reseed. I'm just going to let these go. I might let these blossom and kind of collect seeds next year. We'll see. Here's our very sad pea patch. That's all we got. And now I need to pull some peppers off. We have 26 peppers in. This bed right here are our bells. I believe these two, this one and this one, are cow wonders. This is a chocolate pepper. I need to take these off. They got too big. I started them when I normally do, and they got too big. Kind of the plant, the way I understand it, if it's starting to use up the nutrients in the pot, it kind of goes into like almost like a survival mode where it wants to set off fruit and get seeds so that it can do what it wants to do, and to make sure that it produces seeds so there can be seeds for the next year so the plant can live on. So I want to take those off to encourage the plant to put more energy into developing its roots and reaching into the soil so it's a stronger plant, and then let it blossom. So I do need, some of them I took off as I was working. There's a few that I need to come back in and snip off. Now I swear that I had more hot peppers, but we've got 7, I believe. This is right here, a Sugar Rush Peach. The one beside it, this purple one, I always forget the name. I'll put it on the screen. It's like, no, I'm not even gonna try. But these are delicious. This was a free pepper seed that came with my seed order from Baker Creek. It is this right here. I don't know how to say it. I'm just gonna say it, the teal. And that one is, oh, that's the jalapeno. So So that's a jalapeno there. Now last year I tried seeing if onions would overwinter. So these got planted last, I don't know, I'd have to look at my video to remember, but like late winter, early fall, they look beautiful. This right here. This one is a pumpkin spice jalapeno, which I'm really excited about. And then this is another one of those purple peppers that I can never remember the name of. Now here we've got a giant, well, not a giant bed, but we've got a bunch of hot peppers. No, these are the sweet peppers. These are Hungarian wax, these two here. That one I realized after I put it in the ground, I think is one of those datiles. So that one I'm pretty sure is a hot that I didn't mean to have over here, but that's okay. Now, this is sweet banana, and sweet banana. Now these, oops, come back here. Look at these leaves, aren't they gorgeous? This is a Pippin Golden Honey. They are a sweet frying pepper. I grew them last year for the first time, and they ended up getting like taken over a little bit by the cucumbers, so I didn't even realize what I had. They are so good. So I have, those are the thing I planted the most of. There's 4 of those in here. Really excited about them. And then we are growing some jalapenos, which are supposed to have the flavor of a jalapeno without the heat, and 2 shishitos. Yep, so 2 jalapenos, 2 shishitos. So that's the sweet pepper bed here. So those sweet peppers down here, bells down there. And then this is a turnip right here. Isn't that gorgeous? That overwintered, leaving it for the pollinators, leaving it to gather the seeds. It is so beautiful. Okay, let's see what else we have here. These are zucchini. This bed right here, this is just some radishes I planted. I'm hoping to harvest those before I'm going to plant some sweet potatoes in here. And then we've got some basil, some thyme. There is 1 pea growing down there, but it's pretty sad right now. These bricks I started using because we had bricks here. The original part of the garden had a brick border, so we had them. Something I've found, like the little pill bugs, the potato bugs, love to hide in those crevices, and they just are really hard on young plants. So I really would like to 6-month, 12-month, 18-month plan, somewhere in there. I'd like to replace this with something else, whether it just be like some boards, or like that corrugated tin beds or something like that. So not sure when, but at some point I would like to replace these bricks because it's a really nice bed, but it's really hard to get some things started in here. Okay, more onions. And here's our garlic. We're getting really, really close to scape season, so looking forward to that. Here are what I hope are 3 Romas. Again, you can look at the sign, the little sign there, Roma question mark. We have a, I don't remember the kind, but a sunflower here. Now, along this bed, we've been planting potatoes for far too long, so I'm trying to do something else with it. It's so deep, and I try to not walk or stand on my beds too much. It's really challenging to use with the fence back there. So any of the potatoes that you see in this space are all volunteer. They're all ones that I would have missed from last year. So we're letting those grow. I am planning on putting some sweet potatoes here in this corner. We've got some corn growing. These are black beans in here. There's, I think, 4 or 5 rows of them right here. Um, more potatoes that are volunteering. I'm going to tuck something back in here. Might just do a few more black beans. And then this space right here, let's see if I zoom way in, if we can see, yeah. Those little seedlings there, those are carrots coming up. Hey, look at that. There's some more potatoes. It's amazing. I feel like you get every single one, you know, like, and it looks like I didn't harvest a single one. This is the, whoops, okay. This is the first round of tomatoes I put in. I'm pretty sure those 2 are Paul Robeson's. We've got 1, 2, 3 Amana oranges right here. And then we've got 3 German pinks. And then here's a bed of onions. I published a short recently where I had fertilized these. They really perked up with just a little bit of fertilizer, and I got this mulch down. I am a big proponent of keeping your soil covered. I just think it makes a tremendous difference for the feel of the soil, keeping the moisture in. It's a game changer. So I try to keep my soil covered pretty much at all times unless plants are going in the ground right now. I think I've covered everything. This video ended up being way longer than I planned. I was just going to do a little walkthrough. So I guess we may call this our May garden tour. So thank you for joining us. Here pretty soon in, just checked our toad abode to see if there was a toad to show you. There's not. So I think tomorrow night, if everything works out, get some more squash in the ground. So excited to have some more space for winter squash this year. And thank you for joining us. We'll see you in the next video.